What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with a lucky dip. And for the first time, we're going to listen to one from great friend Adam's collection. Adam has provided music for the last couple years. The early phase of the Ace of Base deep dive, he's provided U2, Men at Work, a number of others more randomly or eclectically, and his collection is considerable. So yes, greatly appreciated Britney Spears, the early phase of that deep dive. And he recently put together a playlist for me to go through, not unlike a couple other friends of the channel, so we're going to start doing that. I did want to mention though, Adam, when you see this, I noticed the second track in the playlist was Foot of the Mountain, and I didn't know if that was like a special mix or some other version. I've definitely reacted to the album version of the tune, and I think the Paul demo version of the tune, so yes, if that's the regular track, I have actually reacted to it, just did notice that. In any case, the first tune in the playlist is by the Superman Lovers, a name I'm not familiar with, and the track is Starlight. So yes, it's like a true lucky dip. I have no context here. It's not an artist name I'm familiar with. The track title speaks to a very visual reference, though one that is also cosmic, meaning it's light that comes from very far away, though here on Earth it can have very atmospheric and, what's the right word, evocative connotations. In any case, I'll see what we're dealing with, or I'll try to pick up what I can on a first listen. This is the Superman Lovers, and the track is Starlight. A bit like disco house vibe.
Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? And Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? And Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? And Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? And Starlight, can you give me a fan? Can you tell me the game of Starlight? What you need.
That's cool. I don't know, like when I do these lucky dips and I don't really have context, it is historically the case that I try to guess the era. It feels like late 90s, early 2000s. It reminds me a bit of Daft Punk. It also sounds a bit like some progressive house, electro house, disco house that I was familiar with when I was going to rave parties in the late 90s. So I'm going to say like right around the turn of the millennium as my guess, which I know is not hyper specific, but that's what I'm saying. And yeah, again, it sounds like a tune that could be a Daft Punk track. The vocals, not so much. The vocals sound different, and I enjoy that he can go very low and very deep and almost a bit comedic in that regard. But there are other moments where he has some nice melodic flourish at the end of some of the lines. So yeah, it's not just like a baritone voice or something. He has some range, and he can go into the higher melodies. And my favorite part about the tune are all the different electronic elements, the electromechanical type of sounds, and there were electromechanical type of sounds, and there were multiple examples of that, and I enjoyed in particular this mechanical bass sequence that really came to the fore in part of that long instrumental interlude. There was an instrumental interlude that went through a couple different phases, and I think it was like the second phase of that. It was like just the kick drum and that electromechanical or electro bass sort of synth line. I really did enjoy that. I enjoyed also that moment in the latter stages where it seemed like it could end, but you could just feel it coming back for one more chorus, and sure enough, it flourished. Now, the opening was a bit different. The opening had me thinking, this wasn't going to be what it became. It sounded more like soundtrack music or something. It had those big gong hits and that kind of Vangelis style synth texture and melody, and then there was that rolling timpani where again it felt like score music but for like a sci-fi futuristic movie, and then suddenly the kick drum comes in and some electro elements come into it, and it's like, okay. So as I said, during the track, it feels, if I had to pin it down to a particular subgenre, I'd say disco house, somewhere in that realm, but definitely with some other aspects that, just speak to, as I said, like early 2000s sort of house, a bit of electro, and I enjoyed his vocals. So yeah, a really cool tune. I do wonder, the provenance of this, not only temporally, but also, where is Superman, what is it? Superman Lovers, is that what it is? Yes, the Superman Lovers. I wonder, because again, we only hear one voice, and it's a, house, like techno style tune, so I wonder if it is actually multiple people, which I guess maybe I'm thinking that because I'm thinking of Daft Punk, famously a duo, or whether it's a group or whether it's a solo artist. So definitely intrigued on this one. Shout out to Adam. As I said, I had a question about the next track in the playlist, but I just briefly scanned the rest of the ones in the playlist. I think there's like 20, 21, something like that. And they're sort of identified, at least in my interface, by a thumbnail, and just about every other thumbnail except for the one from Aha I did not recognize. So I'm thinking that pretty much everything in there will be an unknown to me, so I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to Adam for sharing music, for hanging out on the channel for now over a couple years, and for providing this playlist of lucky dips to go through. Looking forward to it. Let me know what you think. I'll see you for the next one. Peace.